Welcome to the NBTLT Podcast with your guides through this magical journey, Lon and Zumi.
Welcome back to the Nothing Better to Listen To podcast, the only podcast that could coach better than Pete Carroll. I'm Lon, and I'm joined, as always, by my buddy and director, Zumi. How you doing, Zumi?
That's a low blow, bud.
Hey, fuck Pete Carroll. Instead of gum, he needs to start chewing dicks. Fuck Pete Carroll. Now that that's out of my system, how you Vikings doing, Zumi?
Vikings are doing good, right?
Doing pretty damn good. I think they're the number 2 seed, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. So they have their first round bye this week during the wild card weekend, which just pretty much ended the first half of that wild card weekend with the Chiefs losing to the Titans and the Atlanta Falcons beating the Los Angeles Rams, which is actually kind of sad. I was hoping the Rams would go a little further than that.
Yeah, me too. But,
it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it now.
Yeah.
The one thing that that's stuck on my mind is what's this guy's name that you had on the podcast?
Which one, Doug?
No, not Doug. Jesus Christ, the British guy.
Oh, Matt.
Matt, yeah, Matt. So remember when he was saying that if he had any advice for me of rooting for the Viking, he said yeah, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah. Well, there's always that chance, it's hard with some of these teams that didn't make the playoffs or they didn't get very far in the playoffs the previous year. When they go and they get a high seed, you're like, oh man, you're like, they could do it, and then all of a sudden they just fucking suck. But
the one thing that I liked, at least this year, was that it didn't feel like the Chargers.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? You don't have all that disappointment.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was never like I never got my hopes so high that then it caused disappointment. So if the Vikings lose anytime soon, I'd be yeah, they had a great season.
They did.
I wouldn't be well, it's fucking Chargers,
Yeah.
And that was the same with the Chargers. I was every fucking season I was fucking Chargers, and I don't know. I might just stick with the Vikings for a while.
You should try it. Well, I mean, they have a really good situation right now. Especially with how well their quarterback, who's essentially a backup quarterback, Case Keenum, he's done really well this year. And if something were to happen to him, it's not like you have to worry too much because you have Teddy Bridgewater just sitting on the bench waiting for his chance to come back.
Right.
And we know what Teddy Bridgewater is, but it was a weird year, to say the least. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of things that I didn't expect to happen. I did not expect the Cowboys and the Seahawks to not make the playoffs.
Or the Packers.
Well, the Packers, I think once Aaron Rodgers went down, I'm like, I don't know if I trust that team without him. They had, I forget his name, the kid who replaced him. But he sucked. Holy shit, he sucked. But the Seahawks was the interesting one. And that video I sent you, I don't know if you got to watch it. It was the differences between, certain organizations and the Seahawks and how they do business. And it makes a lot of sense. How Pete Carroll was able to draft these guys really well in his first couple of years because he knew who they were.
Yeah.
He had just come from college, and then the further he gets away from all those, knowing all these college kids, the less well or the worse he does in drafting, and that's exactly what it looks like, But I mean, I'm happy the Seahawks aren't in because I fucking hate their fans.
But by the way,
it really doesn't have a lot to do with the team. I hate the team, but not nearly as much as I hate their fans.
I will say that the guy that was reporting or doing that report, man, he had like such an amazing voice.
Oh yeah, Colin
Like,
Coward.
holy fuck, dude!
Yeah.
If I was still in the military, and that guy is my commanding officer, and he's telling me that we're gonna kamikaze somebody, like, I would gladly do it.
You're like, yes, sir. Let's do
I'd be
this
like,
shit.
let's do this shit. Like, you know, I wouldn't be like, what? Wait, what are we? Why are we doing this? I would have been like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Right now, let's go.
there's only a few people that have like that voice. You know, like there's a lot of officers that I had, you know, in the Air Force that I really respected, that I would, you know, gladly do stuff for. I mean, you know, Colonel DePledge is one of those guys. You know, fantastic leader. But he just, you know, he doesn't have that voice.
No.
You know, he's got a real calm and soothing voice. You know, like you know, you could talk to him. You know, but that, I mean, think if Colonel DePledge had Colin Cowherd's voice,
dude.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. So that was the one thing. Like, while I was listening to this, because, you know, when you sent it to me, I was like, oh, this is gonna be totally biased with the Patriots and stuff, and I didn't even mind he's a Patriots fan, but, you know, when I was going through school, you know, sports psychology, like, one of the things that came up in conversations and stuff was always the Patriots, because, you know, we study successful teams.
Yeah,
and
that's got to be brutal for some people.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, like, they said the same thing that this guy was saying about, like, consistency, and how, you know, if somebody ever comes into the Patriots, like you know ahead of time what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
So there's really no room for you to come in and all of a sudden be like, hey, what if we try this? And just like, no, and they always say this, that's not the Patriot way.
Yeah.
That's like their thing, right? Like, if you try to bring something new, unless it's like extremely like you can back it up, they won't do it. They'll just say, like, this is the Patriots way.
And we've had players come through New England that are fantastic athletes, like Chad Ochocinco. You know, this guy, fantastic athlete, amazing wide receiver, and we brought him in, and it just didn't work out. Like, he caught barely any passes. We didn't go to the Super Bowl. You know, and it's it was just a bad season for us. You know, we still make it to the playoffs and everything, but I feel like an asshole saying stuff like that. But, you know, it's one of those things, like, if you come in and you have the mindset that, like, I'm going to get this many catches and I'm going to get this many touchdowns, you know, it's like, dude, you're in the wrong place.
Yep.
Because if you notice anything about the Patriots, it's amazing to me that Gronk has as many catches as he does, because of how much they spread it around. You know, it's like, you can't come in as a star and think you're going to stay a star.
Right.
You know, it's like, you'll get talked about, but you're not going to be like that one guy on that one team that the team needs you. It's like, you know, hey, if you fall, we got two other guys waiting in line to take your spot.
Right. So, I mean, and like I said, it was good. It was a good. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad for being a little biased. But, you know, other than that, I mean, football, like I said, it's been an interesting year. I enjoyed it. I mean, there was a lot of really good games. I know. You know, and I feel lucky that, you know, most of my team's years don't end until like January, February, you know, and that's kind of nice. But it is nice to see some fresh blood in there, you know, like see like the Titans come back and get back to the playoffs and do well, you know, because I like the Titans, you know, I like Marcus Mariota, I like all, you know, some of the newer quarterbacks that are in, so it's fun to watch.
I just like the movie.
Remember the Titans? Not the same team, bro.
I know. So, happy 2018, brother.
Yeah, to you too. Oh yeah, audience, happy New Year. Totally forgot about it.
Even though it's January 6th already.
And how far removed are we from 2012 and the apocalypse? What was that, 6 years ago now?
So, yeah, like...
But it wasn't the apocalypse, That's what everybody, misunderstood about the whole Mayan prophecy or whatever. It wasn't the apocalypse. It was just the end of that cycle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a documentary about it where they talked about like the prophecy about changing. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but if you look at the constellations, it makes sense, like the constellation calendar.
Yeah.
Like the shift. But anyways, we'll leave that conversation for Doug.
Oh yeah. Well,
So-
did you see the documentary on now that we're kind of talking about it, this is kind of switching gears, and we can go into the Netflix conversation because I got a ton to say about that. Have you seen that documentary about the Voyager missions?
No.
I forget the exact name of it, but you can find it on Netflix, and it's it's talking to the old crew, not crew, but like the people that built the Voyagers, the people that sent them up into space and watched them over the years. And that is a fantastic documentary. Like I was already infatuated with the Voyager missions because I just think it's awesome that we have gone outside our solar system now. But it's a really interesting documentary. Like they show all the pictures that they had sent back to them from the Voyager missions, and how excited they were every time they reached a new planet, and because most of the pictures you see like in textbooks and stuff, like when you and I were growing up, that's from the Voyager missions. Like the pictures of, Uranus, Neptune, not Pluto. They didn't take pictures of Pluto. But, Jupiter, Saturn, all that stuff. All of that stuff, all those pictures is from the Voyager missions. So it's pretty cool. And all the things that they found, like the one interesting thing that I found was, I think it was a moon of Neptune. I think it was a moon of Neptune or Uranus that had something going on as the Voyager was flying like next to it, where they couldn't figure out what was going on the surface, and they find out because there was like hot heat or like heat signatures showing up on the surface of the moon, and they're like, what the hell is that? And then they find out it's actually geysers.
Oh shit.
Like, oh wow, that's pretty fucking awesome. I mean, you think of how far away from the sun it is, and there's actually heat emanating from the under the surface of one of these moons. So it was pretty cool. That, and I don't know if I asked you about that. Have you seen Europa Report?
No.
One of the best space movies I've ever seen. That's kind of a shitty movie, but it's a B movie. But
Okay.
It's really good for.
I think it came up on my Netflix thingy, but
It looks like it, like the photo for it. Like the cover art. Even the cover art looks like a B movie. But it's one of those movies that it portrays the conditions of being in space for that long really well. Because they have to go out to, I think, Titan, one of Jupiter's moons, because they're gonna try to look under the ice that's on Titan. Or no, Europa. What the fuck am I talking about? Titan. It's called Europa Report. So they go to Europa.
okay.
But
I'll check it out. Did you check out any of the ones that I recommended last podcast, like Big Mouth?
Yes, I did. I watched the first 2 episodes of Big Mouth.
What'd you think?
It was pretty fucking hilarious. I can't watch it with the wife.
No, you definitely no.
She just won't get it. But
Well,
yes,
it actually touched on females' puberty as well. And,
no pun intended.
And it's really it was eye opening for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you might give it a shot.
Yeah, I think I'll probably finish it.
How about Dark?
No, I haven't. I keep on asking Christelle to watch it with me, and she absolutely refuses. I may end up, just watching it by myself, like on lunch breaks and stuff. But I really want to watch it. She's like, "Fuck that! I'm not gonna watch that. That looks scary as shit."
No, it's not scary.
Well, yeah, you explain that to her because she refuses.
No, it's not like Stranger Things scary or anything like that. There's no monsters. It's just there's fucked up stuff about that involve time traveling, but no, it is not scary at all.
And that's what I mean. I can watch, demonic movies. I can watch ghost story type movies. But the stuff that has to do with like fucked up things that happen with time travel or like dimension travel, that kind of stuff messes with me. Like the movie The Butterfly Effect. I can't do it. I've watched that movie twice and I refuse to watch it again. It's just too messed up.
It was pretty messed up. Did you, or I don't know if I told you, but my wife and I have been watching Narcos.
Oh, yeah, about Pablo Escobar and all that shit.
Yeah, we just finished season 2.
Yeah, I think you told me on the last podcast that you guys were going to watch that or something.
Yeah, so she's hooked on that, and she was giving me crap before the recording started. About, like, we didn't watch a single episode, and I'm like, baby, you gotta pace yourself, like season 3 is the last season that's out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And season 4 might get shut down because they can't. I mean, if they can't guarantee that they're gonna be safe while filming in Juarez, they're not gonna do El Chapo.
Yeah. It's understandable though.
And so, but it was they did something well. Like Narcos did something really well, and that's that they humanized Pablo Escobar towards the end. Like, I actually felt sorry for the guy, but then I was like, no, fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Yeah.
But there's another documentary, and they interview his family, well, mostly his son.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called The Sins of My Father.
I've heard of it, yeah.
And that's probably going to be the next thing that I watch after I finish season 3.
Well, I just started watching again. It's been a long time since I've started watching. Mom, I'm not sure if they have it on Netflix or not. I don't think they do, but Band of Brothers.
Oh, dude, I can't do it.
Now, the thing that I did forget about is how much I hate Lieutenant Sobel, or later Captain Sobel. But holy shit, fuck that guy. I mean, the thing that got me the most is most of the stuff that I really liked about what happened to him was in the very first episode, when, the group of, there was a couple of sergeants, that decided they were just basically going to take a reduction in rank just to get him out of there. And, I like the way that the colonel handled it. He basically told, Sobel that he was going to transfer him somewhere where he needed him. But he knew.
Yeah.
You don't get to get that kind of stuff from your sergeants and have nothing happening there. So he knew. But, yeah, I totally forgot how much I hated that son of a bitch.
I don't know. See, I couldn't watch the Band of Brothers. Like, I saw a couple of episodes, and then like the one, I think it was Spears.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, when Spears is just like, he just like runs towards the, I can't remember, he runs to like a camp, and then he comes running right back. And it was just like, man, that guy was a fucking badass.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was just like, I just couldn't watch it, dude.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Saving Private Ryan. I don't know if I told you, like, I can't watch that movie.
Well, that's brutal. The thing that I don't like about Private Ryan, or Saving Private Ryan, is they took a lot of liberties with that movie.
Yeah, well, they mesh. They pretty. I was watching an analysis of it. They mesh like a lot of stuff on how, like the perception of war is to certain people. And
yeah.
they have to condense everything in 2.5 hours of like stuff that was going on.
Of course.
So like, for example, D-Day, how like you see everybody just getting gunned down and
yeah.
shit. Like if you see actual footage, like people were walking.
Mm-hmm.
Like they it's not like they were receiving gunfire at the beach.
Yeah. Well, because if it was really like that, there would have been a hell of a lot more air support.
Right.
And there also would have been a lot more dropping of the paratroopers and, like airborne and stuff, like behind, I mean, it would just make more sense. But
and then
I understand they had anti-aircraft and everything, but, come on.
Yeah, and then, for example, the other like really intense scene is it's the sniper scene, right? When Vin Diesel gets shut down, and then the sniper makes the eye shot. Like that. I guess that incident didn't even occur in World War II. I think it was Vietnam in the jungle.
Yeah.
There's they just mesh a bunch of things like.
Well, that and the fact that they had a captain just walking out in front right there on the beaches, and that he was with that company to begin with, like there's no way that, the U.S. Army would have sent a captain. I mean, they would have sent a sergeant, no problem. Like, send a sergeant, go find the kid. I can understand, that they would send a group to go find a certain soldier, like kind of like an act of symbolism, right?
Right.
But to send a captain, I mean, we were already thin with officers during World War II. Like, they were doing field promotions up the ass in World War II. But, there was a lot of stuff about it. But, I mean, still a good movie.
Yeah, and like I said, and before I joined the military, I used to watch it a lot. And then I joined the military, and I was just like, I couldn't stomach it anymore.
Yeah.
And I still can't watch it. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's. I mean, I'll be a hypocrite if I sit here and say like, oh, because of the stuff that we watch, I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see combat. The most I saw was the aftermath of that, of a guy being shot at Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Well, there was one thing that I always had the question about was the like, did you ever get to see the Mercenaries? Well, we didn't call them
Well,
I mean, there was some of them.
They were mercenaries. Right?
Yes. But they would have, like, I saw this one time where I was coming out from the Chow Hall, and I think it was Al Dhafra, and I saw some of them, and they had this crate that they were kind of like wheeling. It was a wood crate, and it was pretty large. And then that night, as we go to fly, like they're telling us about how we had, just got done killing one of the Al Qaeda captains or something like that. I'm like, holy shit. Were these guys just rolling out an Al Qaeda captain, like around base? And it's possible. You never know. Those mercenary dudes, man, those guys.
Those guys were badasses. Anyway, that's my baby crying. I'll be right back. I need to make...
Okay. We'll take a quick break. I'm going to check on mine, too. And we're back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, as you can tell, I still don't have my recording room. No. I was telling Lonnie before the recording started that I finally got the room, and then I went 10 minutes before we started recording, and I have no electricity.
So that's awesome.
So I was like, well, I'm not gonna record in the dark, so
yeah. Well, that's the way it goes.
Hopefully by the next podcast, I'll have it ready, all set up, and the quality will sound a lot better.
I think it sounds okay.
And it's not bad, but you still hear my baby crying and stuff in the background. And
yeah,
if one of these stupid stray cats decides to jump on my wife's car, then the alarm's gonna go off.
The Mexico.
Dude, I don't know what it is with me and picking places. They're just filled with fucking cats. Holy
dude,
shit.
I was trying to get my kids to sleep, and my neighbor's kids were in the backyard just screaming and yelling.
The last place there I was in the lady had 9 cats, and then 9 fucking cats. And the thing is, like in Mexico, owning a cat is not like owning a dog, right? To them, owning a cat means I have stray cats that come to my place to eat, and that's it. I don't
like cats anyway.
They don't take care of them. They don't. It's not like they have like their little collars and the little bell and stuff. Like they just fucking feed them, so the fucking cats don't ever leave.
Yeah, I'm not cool with that.
Dude, oh my god. And then on this new house, like, granted the property is huge, right? It's enormous. But the people that live like right next to our house, like they just have they have fucking boxes. Like the diaper boxes. And they just put like towels and shit for the cats to sleep in.
But why though?
Because that's like I said, that's how Mexicans say that they own or have cats.
That's fucking weird. I hate cats to begin with, but I can't imagine just doing that. Be like, it doesn't come in the house. It doesn't do any of that.
Have you ever seen that documentary? I think it's called Cats. Like literally just called Cats. And it's a place I think in Italy where there's just a shitload of stray cats, and that's what people do. They just feed them.
Well, they need to stop feeding them.
I know. But all these
don't
cats,
poison their food, Zumi.
All these cats are just like chilling at people's houses and roofs and trash cans and stuff, and people just feed them. They're just stray cats. They're like, nobody owns them. And this is just this community where they just like a shitload of cats.
I don't understand that. Like, if you like cats and you want to own a cat, I don't have a problem with that. Just because I don't like cats doesn't mean I have a problem with people having cats. But if you're going to have a cat, like, have a cat. You know, have it in the house. Take care of it. Do stuff with it, Pretend like it's your pet just a little bit.
Yeah, get him fixed at least. Jesus Christ.
Seriously. But it's the same thing with people with dogs. Like, I feel the same way. Like, people that just leave their dogs outside all the time. Like, why the fuck do you have a dog? I mean, I guess if you play with them, or if it's like a work dog, like my grandpa had, those dogs stayed outside, but, I mean, those are his dogs. I mean, nobody would argue that that's his pet.
Right.
And not just some random animal on the farm, But
yeah, and that's what these cats are. They're just fucking random animals that don't leave because they keep putting food outside.
Yeah, and you're basically making them into, vermin. That's all they are. But I told you that I got 2 new ferrets, right?
No, you only showed me one.
Well, I got the second one a little while ago, and we're done with getting ferrets. By the way, we just wanted 2, but we have 2 now. And do you know what we named them?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Tango and Cash.
Oh my god.
No, but like even with that, like I get how some people can't understand like having a ferret, but I think it's better than having a cat, just because to me it's smarter than a cat, or at least it gives more shits than a cat.
It's not as lazy as a cat.
No, definitely not. They're a lot more wiry. But the cool thing about ferrets is like you can have a playtime, like for like an hour to 2 hours, and just play with them. And let them run around in this tube, or like we got them a ball pit that they play in.
Right.
And they do that for like an hour or 2 hours, and then they're done. They just go back to sleep. And then you leave them alone. You just make sure they're fed and they have water. But like any other time besides when they're playing, they're sleeping. They don't give a shit about you. They just want to sleep and hang around. Like, because if you pull them out when they're trying to sleep, they won't do anything. They'll just lay there. It's a good pet to have, especially with kids. Like kids love them, so they can play with them for a little while, and then you just put them away when they stop getting interested.
Just put them away.
But yeah, I can't stand it. Like with some people, they just don't care about the animal, enough to like not necessarily bring it in the house, but like do stuff with it. Like at least pretend like it's your pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure these people don't spend quality time with 15 fucking cats.
No, that'd be hard to do. So, I can't do that with friends.
Dude, I think they barely spend any quality time with their own kids, so... And then they have cats? Fuck, man. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing to me. Like, I'll go to, like, a parent-teacher conference now, and every time I go, like, I swear to God, each teacher is all excited that, like, you're actually interested in what's going on in your kid's life. Like, I want to know. Like, I'm asking questions. Like, when I go to Leland or Amelia's parent-teacher conferences, like, okay, well, like, they were having problems with this at home. Are they doing okay here? And And they'll write everything down and say, well, like you can try these problems. This is what they're having an issue with, and afterwards they'll be like, I'm really happy that you're, taking an interest in your kids' lives. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, my parents didn't have an interest in my
But I found out that like tons of parents, like, they just don't give a shit. Like they just drop the kid off. Like, it's daycare, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. It's I can't believe that parents just really just don't give that much of a damn about what their kids are doing. Like, I can understand if you don't understand what they're doing in school and stuff like that, as they get older. But, I mean, people are more interested in, like, cell phones and shit than they are in, like, taking care of their kids.
Is Farmville even, like, a thing anymore?
I think it is. I think Crystal, like, plays it every now and then, but not like, like how people used to do, like where it was like hours upon hours.
Dude, you remember that chick that killed her baby because she was crying? And
yeah.
She couldn't play Farmville. Holy fuck, dude. She
needs to be put in general population.
Which, by the way, now they're I think the DSM is putting an annex to add cell phone or technology addiction or video game addiction, something like that.
What?
It had to do with like addiction to video games.
How about you just have a rehab center for people with addictive personalities?
I can't remember the name of it though. And then they go through like the profile of like whether to identify if you have like video games or like technology addiction, and it's like you rather skip stuff or social contact, and you rather play versus for extended amount of hours versus like socializing. And it's just like yeah. I mean,
I can't believe that they're doing that.
But,
I think that if you are going to be addicted to something, like if you just have that type of personality trait that you're going to be addicted to something, it doesn't matter what it is. If cocaine didn't exist, it would be meth. If meth didn't exist, it would be video games or cheeseburgers or whatever. You're going to be addicted to something.
I mean, what would people like back in the day, like Wild West?
Okay.
What was the pastime back then? Like, what would people get? What could people
drinking
get?
and playing cards?
What? Yeah, was that the only addiction thing that was out there? Gambling?
I mean, that wasn't the only thing. I mean, gambling was huge, yeah. But I mean, those are big things back then. There was lots of people losing a lot of money to gambling or drinking or just doing some stupid shit. I mean, it has to say something if, like, back in the 1800s, one of the best jobs that you could get, albeit illegal, was to rob stagecoaches. I mean, because it paid, and nobody could find out who you were.
Right.
And I mean, I think that was one of the worst times in American history, even though some of it was like the best time in American history.
I don't know.
I would say the justice was probably pretty up there.
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody can just point and say, like, this guy stole from me.
Yeah.
And if
you can't prove it.
Yeah, and if you reach for your gun, then I can shoot you, and it was illegal. It was a clean kill or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, and I think I've talked to you about this, like the movie Tombstone. You know that's utter bullshit, right?
Yeah, I mean.
But I love how people like say, like, Wyatt Earp, he's a good man and stuff like dude, Wyatt Earp was not a good dude.
No, from what I heard,
neither were his brothers.
They were a bunch of fucking assholes, dude.
Yeah, they used to do some really bad shit to make money. But I mean, it's a cool movie. I love Tombstone, but yeah, I don't know what it was like back then. I mean, I wasn't born then, obviously, so I have no idea. But I'm sure that there was addictive personalities back then, and it was probably things like opioids and alcohol and gambling and probably some of the same shit that we have now. It's just that there was less things to be addicted to back then.
Do you think more people smoked marijuana back then?
I would have no idea. I know that it was around, but I have no idea.
I wonder if that would make you like a better shooter.
I'm able to concentrate better when I'm stoned, bro.
But anyways, so
Sheriff Cheech.
so I see that you wrote that Game of Thrones got pushed.
Oh yeah, so they Game of Thrones, I read the article, like it came out a couple days ago saying that Game of Thrones is pushed to 2019. And I think we already knew that it was going to 2019. But the thing that we didn't know is that they're not doing 7 episodes or 10 episodes, they're doing 6.
Why 6?
I don't know. Ben Shapiro, in fact, was on Twitter, and he just has this big, long tweet that says, no! Because, of course, you know that Ben Shapiro's like a big Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that sucks, dude.
Dude.
Like, I was expecting something maybe, you know, like, originally, before the news that it was getting pushed, I was expecting something like around summer, or maybe even towards, like, the end of 2018, right?
You know what I think it is? I think it's George R.R. Martin finally saying Winds of Winter is it's finally going to come out.
Yeah.
So
it could be. I also think that he's a fat fuck and he's lazy.
He's not lazy. You know what it is, though? Like, kind of lazy. Like, he gets distracted easily with projects. Like, you know, instead of finishing, he was supposed to finish Game of Thrones like fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or The Song of Ice and Fire, but then he went and wrote the Neo-Egg series, and
yeah,
so he just got fucking sidetracked, right? But no, I guess when he writes A Song of Ice and Fire, he has like 2 or 3 people that know the world of Westeros, right? Like the timeline.
Yeah.
They're and so he writes his chapters or whatever, and then he gives it to them, and then they'll be like, no, dude, there's a shitload of conflicts with this, and this, and this, so he has to like rewrite stuff.
Oh,
so
see, that's got to be super frustrating as a writer.
And then he'll be like, oh, I just thought about a side story for Cold Hands, or I just thought about a side story for Nymeria. And it's just like,
that guy is gonna die frustrated.
And it's just like, dude, like, just fucking finish the like just finish it. Just don't do the shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's unfortunate.
But he's a really smart dude. Like, I don't know if you ever seen like his interviews or like stuff at Comic-Con.
I love his stuff.
Dude, he's amazing, but like, he has the fucking artist complex.
You think? But I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, it's not necessarily that you're like worshipped by this fan base, right? Yeah, that really doesn't have a whole lot to do with it, I don't think. I think it has to do with the fact that you know you're good. You know, and it's I think it's the same thing that happens to like you know, aerospace engineers and stuff, or like say a theoretical physicist. You know, like, you're just so beyond, like, at a certain level, like, beyond everybody else that does the same thing, that it frustrates you to even talk to them, because it's like, how do you bring it down to like their level? Right. Because you understand it at this, you know, astronomical level, but you got to bring it down to like you're talking to like a 3-year-old. You know, so he's going to sound like a prick. Yeah. You know, when he's explaining it, because it sounds like he's talking down to you. Well, he is. You know?
In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I hope that more stuff keeps coming out to keep me entertained until Game of Thrones comes. Because like I said, after Game of Thrones, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Well, yeah, I also said that for Breaking Bad.
And like I said, to me, it hasn't ended because I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
And you know what? I may have something there.
It comes out in Netflix, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is like we were talking about Netflix, is that Netflix has really picked up their game. You know, since they started the whole streaming service, and especially since they started their own productions.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I know I trashed that movie Bride on the last podcast.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 2 days after I was trashing this movie, I watched it and I actually enjoyed it. It was it was pretty good.
And you and I talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was the same way. Like, I was totally trashing it around Christelle. I was like, dude, this movie's going to suck balls.
Dude, you wouldn't think that, searching for a fucking magic wand would work as a plot. But it did. It totally worked. I don't know. The motherfucker that wrote that shit must have been on some really good shit.
And he also needs a raise.
Yes.
Because think of the plot. Think of, pitching the plot to a studio. Even Netflix's studios, right?
Yeah.
Because at Netflix you can do whatever the fuck you want. But you got to have some semblance of a real story, right?
I think the pitch had to be amazing.
It had to be.
Because on paper, it's like, oh, it's a world where orcs get discriminated and there's magic wands and elves that run the world. They're like the business owners and stuff. And
by the way, it's all modern. Yeah,
and it's all modern. And they work for the LAPD. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
And that's what the trailers kind of played it off like, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly like that's what it is. This the trailer just pushed it as the facts. Like, okay, everything is all the same except for the fact that we live hand in hand with orcs, elves, and there's magic wands, and there's actually magic, and but they're all
fairies,
and
centaurs and shit.
There's fantasy creatures and shit, but
and I was just like, no, this looks fucking dumb. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I thought I was gonna hate it, but I was like, dude, I'm gonna watch it because I like Will Smith, and even though he's disappointed me a few times, I'm gonna watch it. And then I watched it. I'm like, I started watching it, and I'm like, this is actually kind of funny. Some of the interactions that he has with his orc partner.
Yeah.
And then the thing with the fairy at the very beginning, that shit was funny. Fair lives don't matter today.
Why didn't you go LAPD on it? It's
boom. Yeah.
But,
you guys keep doing your thug thing. I'm just trying to sell my house.
Yeah, but seriously, I watched that movie with my brother because we didn't have anything else to do. It was night, and I decided I'm like, well, at least I'm like, if it's gonna be bad, it'll give me some podcast material. And dude, my jaw was open. I'm like, how much I was enjoying this shit. and then I had to go into Google the cast, and then I saw the orc was or is the guy from Warrior.
Oh yes, yeah.
I can never remember.
I don't remember his name, but he's a good actor.
Yeah, he also plays. You remember Smoking Aces?
Of course I do. He's the Russian guy.
Yeah, he's Hugo, and
Yuri.
I was like,
Yuri,
Hugo,
or whatever.
Hugo. Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? Really? I didn't even recognize him, and I was just like, man. But Bright, check it out.
Yeah. Oh, and spoiler alerts. I thought that they were going to take the easy road out with the that one elf, the male. The guy with silver hair or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to make him corrupt too. Right? And I was like, oh, he's going to be part of it and all elves are bad. It's actually the elves that are bad, not the orcs and stuff, right? But they didn't. They're like, no, it's just these certain elves, and there's the certain orcs that are bad. And I was like, oh, cool. It actually pleasantly surprising that they chose to go that route instead of just take the easy road. And just say oh yes, all elves are bad. It wasn't like everybody suspected. It's like, dude, that's cheap. But that they gave each character a soul of their own. I was like, okay, dude, that's cool.
That movie shut me up. I enjoyed it, and I
might watch it again.
I would watch it again too. It's funny. It's a lot of action scenes, and
they're good action scenes.
Yeah. Surprisingly, they're I like the Vatos in there. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that they chose to. I thought that it was cool that they kind of chose to make the orcs this gangster type of thing, but it wasn't necessarily like their choice to be that way. They just kind of like melded in with that group.
Yeah.
Because they're, I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, good movie.
Yeah, it was good. But anyways, you were saying.
What was I saying?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, I took vacation. It was actually kind of cool because I took the vacation. I told you about it on the last podcast. I did the week before Christmas, and then I went back to work on a Tuesday, worked through Thursday, and then I had Friday off. But I also had Monday the following week, and I thought that would be a good thing, and it was for the most part. But going back to work after that was fucking hard, man. And
Dude,
I don't know if I can do it again.
It was difficult for me as well, and I only had a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
But these past 2 weeks, like the main two bosses have not been there.
Oh, so nothing's getting done.
No, shit is getting done, but it's a lot of shit.
Oh, you mean like they had a lot of stuff that they had to do, but everybody else has to kind of do it now?
Right, and we're dealing with salespeople. So once they meet their quota for December, they're like, "Yeah, fuck that.
Like, I'm out.
I'm just gonna hold on the stuff and just submit it on January 1st."
Yeah.
So there's just like a shitload of stuff this past week, and I was just like, "Oh my!" And then people got sick. I think there's a bug going on around. Like,
yeah.
Some friends actually had to go home because they were just like super sick. And then
That
I come home, my wife is fucking sick. And then this morning I wake up and both of my ears are just clogged. Like, 'cause I have like that big fucking sinus block right now.
Oh, great.
And I've been sick for the past month or so. Like, I've been trying to shake this thing off, and apple cider vinegar is not working right now.
Oh, then it's bad.
Yeah. But I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I wish I would just get sick for like 2 or 3 days or whatever, just get it over with. But it hasn't happened. And I don't know what's worse. I don't know if I think I'd rather be sick for 3 days than to be sort of sick for, going on a month and a half now.
Oh yeah. I would totally rather be like deathly sick for just like 1 or 2 days than have to go through like a week or more of just being a little sick. Because it's so, I don't know if inconvenient is the right word, but it's pretty close.
It is pretty inconvenient. I mean, the last thing I want to do is like drive with a headache for like 3 or 4 days straight,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that reminds me, like I did have a headache the other day as I was going to work, and you probably know it's getting pretty icy up here. Like it's already snowed. We had our bigger snow for that happened in December, and it was kind of cool because it happened like on Christmas Eve. So it's it's all magical. But it snowed, and then it kind of froze over, and then it kind of melted, and then it froze back, and then it started raining and snowing, so it really froze over, and now like just last night. It rained pretty hard, but it was also like 28 degrees.
So you're going to have some black ice.
And dude, there's I went outside for a break when I was at work, and I called Christelle, and as I'm walking, like I almost slipped on my ass like 3 times. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to go back inside because this is just stupid. But as I was driving to work the other day, I'm like I have to drive down the hill now. And of course, none of the snow graders have come by. None of the de-icers have come by. So I'm like, really gently tapping my brakes the whole way down. Like I didn't use my gas pedal at all. And I swear to God, and when this kind of weather hits, like everybody loses their fucking mind. And it's like they either go really, really slow or they go way too fast.
Right.
And yeah, I have to go down the hill. It's 30 miles an hour down the hill, but people are going like 50 miles an hour. Like, what the hell are you thinking? And I already got a headache, and I'm trying to I'm fine. It's like everybody thinks that I hate driving in snow. No, I don't hate driving in snow. I hate the other people that are around me driving in snow because they're fucking stupid.
Dude, do you have studded tires then?
No, I do have really nice tires though. The brand new ones that I got on my truck. I call it a truck. It's not a truck. Everybody keeps telling me that it's an SUV. My little Ford Explorer.
It's an SUV.
Well, it's a 94, so it's all, steel body. So it's a pretty heavy truck, by itself. And then I got these Winter Cats, and the tread on them is like a little over an inch thick, and they're a little more expensive than just like a basic tire. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with that. And they asked me if I need the studs. I'm like, nah, don't put the studs in, and I'll be fine. And I am, but they have really good grip. I was actually surprised. Like I went to turn on the street as I'm going up the hill to come back home, and I forgot. I'm like, dude, it's gonna be icy. What the fuck? So I kind of I pulled out of the turn a little bit, but I didn't slide at all on the ice. I was like, oh, so that's nice. But like I said, my truck is kind of heavy. I don't have to really worry about it, and I got 4-wheel drive. And
dude, I sort of got one of the things that I don't miss about Spokane and snow is me driving on my Blazer at like 20 miles per hour, hitting my brakes, and my brake pedal just sinking all the way in.
Oh, no ABS.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my fucking God, I'm going to die right now.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know if you were with me on once, but on a intersection, red light, and I hit the brake, the car didn't.
You're not going to stop.
Yeah, it did not stop, and luckily nobody T-boned me. But I was just like, oh, like that thing there is what I don't miss.
Well, there's one intersection. There's a 4-way intersection. Yeah, I don't know if you remember it. Do you remember the street Wellesley?
And
Driscoll, like down the hill. Do you remember where Christelle's parents live?
Yes.
Like that back road kind of Driscoll. There's that intersection as Wellesley is coming down. All the Spokane listeners listening right now know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a 4-way stop, and because Wellesley's coming down the hill, and I mean it's pretty steep. All the intersections, like all roads, all 4 roads, like converge into the middle, and it kind of dips right in the middle. So of course, like all the snow and rain and shit like that just like pours right down towards the middle, and it freezes, and you can't stop. Like I went from my in-laws' house, and I was driving home on Driscoll, and it's kind of even ground, like it's kind of level ground. And I knew that I was going to have to stop. So I start stopping 150 feet before, because I know it's slippery. And I'm sliding, and I'm going 5 miles an hour, and I'm touching the brake, and it will not stop.
Oh my God.
And I have ABS. And I'm like, oh shit. So I keep sliding, and I end up stopping like where my truck is like halfway over the line. I'm like, okay, this is good enough. And I turned on the 4-wheel drive because I'm like, well, I got to get out of this too. So I turned on the 4-wheel drive. As I'm stopped, this dude coming down from Wellesley on my left, he couldn't have been going 2 miles an hour. Like seriously, he was going like less than walking speed. And he's just coming down, and I knew he was going to go through. So I just waited, and I got the guy behind me honking at me. I'm like, dude, just give it a second, all right? And sure enough, here comes this guy, just slides all the way through. And as he slides through, he sticks his hand out the window and waves at everybody. It's like, yeah, you get a pass this time, buddy. No big deal.
It's just like, sorry.
This is not my fault. Yeah, but it gets pretty bad here sometimes, just because of the rain and stuff like that happens during the winter. But other than that, it's a great place to live.
And you do have 4 seasons, so
we do. It does get hot.
It does, yeah. And I mean, the one thing I loved about Washington was fall.
Oh yeah,
fall season is amazing.
And it's good weather even when it's raining.
Yeah.
But I like rain. I don't know. I'm one of those weird people that likes gloomy weather. Not like Seattle type gloomy, where it's gloomy all year round, but yeah. Good times.
Yeah. So, So we're not doing the Disneyland trip this year, I don't think.
No, not this year. And it was mostly because of the move and all the other shit that was going on. You know, I really want to. It's bugging me. Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to go next month, and that's just not going to happen. And it's kind of depressing, you know, because we've already been telling the kids last year that we were going to go, and we weren't planning on buying a house until like the middle of last year, you know, but that happened. So here we are, you know, but we'll end up going sometime soon, I'm sure. Especially with all these new tax cuts and child tax credits and all that shit. You know, we'll find a way.
What about? I thought you wrote this on the set list about tax cuts. Like, what exactly? Am I missing something? I mean,
well, did you? I don't. You heard that the tax cut bill passed, right?
Yeah, but I haven't read on it. Like, what exactly they're?
Well, it's basically a tax cut for everybody. I mean, you'll have the media telling you that it's not, like that some people are going to have their taxes raised. That's actually just a big fat lie. Because it, like any tax cut ever, you know, taxes go in brackets. You know that. Like, if you make so much, then you start at the first bracket up to a certain amount, and you pay the taxes on that. And then your next so much money goes to the next tax bracket.
I'm between 40 and 50.
I think that you're still in the first bracket.
I'm the 15%. I think with the new.
No, I think you're on the 12.
12 or yeah, something like that.
It went from 15 to 12, I believe.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, your paychecks will be a little bigger. And then the thing that passed that I was really excited about was the child tax credit being raised from $1,000 to $2,000 each child. So for me, that's another $4,000 on my tax returns.
Wait, didn't you say 2?
Yes, but I was already making 4 for each of my kids.
So you're getting 8?
You know, yeah, I'll be getting $8,000 just for the child tax credit.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that means I have 3. So
so you'll have 6,000.
But that's not 6,000 to my pocket, right? That's just
that's 6,000 to your pocket.
Oh.
Yeah, so when you go in to do your taxes, like Anna doesn't work, right?
No, I'm the only one.
Okay, so you're
because I'm a man.
Yeah. So what would happen is you are not going to be doing itemization anymore. They've pretty much made it so that there's a standard deduction, and the standard deduction is going to be much higher than what you would be able to do with like itemization deductions. So you'll just take the standard. And then, so even if you itemize like at all, but the other thing, because there's certainly no way that you or I are going to be able to put enough itemized deductions into our tax refund in order for it to go above the standard deduction. So you'll get the standard deduction, and then you'll get your taxes back that you paid from, 2016, or is it, or 2017 rather. And then you get the child tax credit. So before you were getting $3,000 for that, now you'll get $6,000 for that. So you'll see an extra. So just take kind of like, pretty similar to what you got last year. Just add $3,000.
Okay.
So like with mine is almost exactly the same as last year. I'll just be adding $4,000. But I don't know if we get the child tax credit or any of this kicks in like from last year, or if they're going to give us all that stuff on next year's return. That's something I haven't asked anybody. Like, are we going to get the child tax credits this year or next year?
Oh, okay. I see.
But I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, so deductions don't really matter anymore, or do they?
They do, but they matter for people that are doing higher deductions.
I did donate a car this last year, so.
Well, then your standard deduction is going to be higher than that. I'm telling you. Your standard deduction is most likely going to be higher for that.
So you're telling me I could potentially pay off my credit card?
Probably.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if that's this year though. So like,
I hope
this
it
is
is
something I have to search. Yeah, me too. I'm hoping that like I get a nice little bump in the refund because I'd love to do some projects around the house, But yeah, that's pretty much all I know. But anybody that's telling you that it's a tax, hike is out of their fucking mind. Because let's just say you give a tax credit to the lowest income, then you have to give a tax break to everybody else because of how the brackets work. You understand? Because like the first bracket, you're paying taxes on that first, whatever it is, $50,000, right?
Right.
And then once you go to like 51,000 to your next, like up to 100,000, that 50,000 or 49,000, whatever it is, you're paying the next tax bracket. But you still got that tax cut from the beginning. But the thing is that they did a tax cut for each single bracket. So, yes, people that are rich as fuck are going to get a pretty big tax break. But that doesn't mean that you and I got screwed. That just means that you and I don't make as much as they do.
Right.
So all this shit like, oh, the corporations got this huge tax break and we didn't. It's like, well, we can't get that tax break. We don't make that much.
Right. Makes sense.
Anyway. So
that makes sense. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And anybody that wants to look this stuff up, there's tons of websites out there. I guess we could put it up on the website. I don't know if anybody's really interested in it, but
I would rather educate myself on it first before I start talking, because I really don't know. I just know the only thing that I searched or that I Googled was the new tax brackets. That's it. Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't know about the tax cuts.
Yeah, they have some calculators out there that because like companies like H&R Block or is it Stanley Morgan? Some of those places, they don't have the new rules and stuff like that yet, so their calculators are going to be wrong.
Dude, I tried to do one, and I thought it's going to be as easy as punching in what I make and how many kids. They ask for everything.
Yep.
What's on your itemization? What's on column G? What's on row this? On row that? I'm just like, fuck you. I'll just wait.
Well, you got to think about it. If you're an accountant, that shit is basic. That's like, they'll just type that shit in from memory. But yeah, it is kind of frustrating because like the one that I go to is like H&R Block. I can't do it now because they have changes coming. But the one thing that I do like that they did get rid of is the individual mandate for Obamacare. So like if you don't have insurance, you had to pay like a penalty.
You
that's
get a
fucking
penalty.
Bullshit. But
I agree.
It's like it's a product. How the fuck are you making people pay for a product? Like you're the U.S. government forcing people to pay for a product. That's just a tax. That's all that is. You can't tell me that's not a tax.
Yep, I agree. That's the one thing that I might get penalized this year if it's still on. If it's not till next year, then
I think that's why I say I think the child tax credits are in it this year, just because the bill is law. So when you file your taxes, you should still get tax credits. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like all the you obviously didn't pay a certain amount in taxes last year that you paid some taxes last year that you aren't going to be paying this year. Therefore, your tax return in February, March, and April, whatever, your tax return for 2017 is not going to show that because you didn't pay those taxes. Or, you did pay those taxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that shit won't happen. But like the tax credits and the individual mandate for Obamacare, that shit should be immediate. In my mind, I just don't know. Like, don't take my word for it because I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just going off of an educated guess. So
yeah, I mean, and it's like I said, I have insurance. My family doesn't. Like my wife and kids, because they have it here in Mexico. So
yeah, well then they have it. Like even when you go in
that's
there,
the thing. But I think the U.S. doesn't recognize that they have insurance in Mexico. Does that make sense?
So you telling me that you had to pay the last year?
No, last year I didn't have to pay because I didn't make shit.
Oh, okay.
Like on paper, I didn't make enough money, right? Like I was.
So you're telling me like the individual mandate not only penalized people for not having health care, but it also incentivized not having a job or a low-paying job.
But that's the thing. Like it's an option. Like, and that's why the whole bracket thing mattered to me. Yeah. It was because if you make a certain amount, it would say it would give you an option that healthcare was that was offered on my job or whatever was more expensive than than the money I actually make. It was like a certain percentage or something like that, right? So last year it didn't matter because like I didn't make, on paper I didn't make enough money to even be considered to be forced to. But my brother,
you told me. Yeah.
He's IT, right? So he's making, a good sum. So he got penalized. Like
it's fucking bullshit, man.
But it was cheaper for him to pay the penalty than it was for him to actually get health insurance for his wife and kids.
And you know what the shitty part of that is what Obama essentially did was he knew that shit like that was going to happen, right? He knows that that's going to happen. So what he does is he takes money from an insurance company and he puts it in his pocket. Or not necessarily his pocket. I don't want to be the douche that says that Obama's taking all of our money. I'm just saying that he took money from what the insurance company would make from that payer, right, buying their insurance and taking it and moving it into the pocket of bureaucrats.
Right.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, the tax bill in a conservative's viewpoint. So
all that I would say is like, I'm in a unique situation where, Mexico, U.S. border. And like I said, to me, I much rather get stuff done here in Mexico because it's faster.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go through the politics of like insurances and all that stuff. There's no fucking copays or anything like that.
Yeah,
I pay a yearly fee, and my kids are covered. If they need heart surgery, they'll get heart surgery.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's it makes more sense. And the thing that I've always noticed every time I was in Mexico is that like the pharmacies in Mexico, right? And there's always hi honey, Christelle's home. There's always the problem, that some people have, that like with Mexican pharmacies, like you can, everybody says you can just walk in and go grab a bag of Vicodin, right?
No, you can't.
It's like, dude, why don't you try that in Mexico? It's like there's some places that you can go. There's some shady places you can go to go get stuff like that, right? But you can do that here. Yeah. You can get anything you want here, just like you can get down there. It's just that the forum is going to be a little different down there. And it always bugged me. It's like, dude, it's like that. There's like those lies, that are portrayed. Like Tijuana is a prime example, right? Everybody likes to talk about how shitty Tijuana is, right? And it's like, dude, yeah, there's some really shitty parts of Tijuana. I don't know how it is now, but whenever I went down there, there's some really, really nice parts of Tijuana.
Yeah.
And there was some really cool places to go in Tijuana. And you look around, it's like, this doesn't look bad. There's nothing bad about this. Like, I feel comfortable. Like, what the hell is everybody talking about? But it's the same thing for LA. It's like, if I only went to East LA, then I would be telling everybody, dude, LA's shitty. It's like, yeah, there's some really shitty parts of LA. But that doesn't mean Los Angeles as a whole is this pit, you know.
Yeah.
Even though it kind of is now, but
yeah, and I like I said, I lived in South Central for a while. If you go to South Central right now, dude, there's still a lot of places that are like fucking nice. You're like, holy shit, like it wasn't like this, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It really like I said, it's just perception. But
yeah.
My friend that got sick 2 days ago, like she actually sent me a text and she was like, so there's no open appointments at Kaiser. I'm going to TJ. So, yeah, and her and her husband like drove down to TJ, saw a doctor like the same day, got some medication,
and that's the thing is like there's another stereotype is that like people are afraid that if they go to the hospital in Mexico that they're gonna end up amputated or they're gonna have their kidneys sold on the black market or something like that. It's like, dude, where the fuck do you think you're going? It's like this isn't like Eastern Europe and like the back roads of some bombed out city. It's just Mexico. But I would like me personally, just because I've been down to Mexico a bunch of times, I would never have a problem. Like at all going into a Mexican hospital and getting treated.
Yeah.
Just like I would never have a problem with going into a Russian restaurant and having a problem with the food just because it's in a Russian restaurant. It's like, everybody likes to portray all these different places around the world that aren't America as these awful third world countries.
Yeah.
So, dude, there's some nice places out there. You need to get out of your own backyard,
Some good food.
Oh, yeah.
Missing out.
Italy. Dear God.
Oh, dude. Let me start on that. So, did we write down the stuff for our New Year's challenge? Because we're doing it.
We did not. No. I actually have started the process of getting the account up. I have my email and my name and all that stuff in there, my location. I have it on rentafriend.com.
You're doing a fake email though, right? You're not using like your real email.
I'm using one of my more unused emails.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
But I'm really not concerned, like, about getting harassed or anything like that. Now, that might be something I might have to worry about later on down the road. Let's just say if the podcast ever blows up, might have to change that shit. But right now, at this juncture, I'm not too worried about it. But I'm actually kind of excited about it because, like, I was going through all of the options, like, of things you could choose about yourself, like what you're willing to go do, like how much you're going to charge. Like, I think what I was going to decide is something stupid, like $5 an hour. Or even lower, maybe.
You're gonna play the low bowler to get the friend like quicker. I see your strategy.
No, it's mostly because I'm more interested in getting those people that just want somebody to hang out with.
I don't think I want those guys.
I'm less afraid,
So I don't know. So we gotta set the ground rules though, because like now I'm thinking that the first one to get an actual friend. Or a renter?
Yeah. Maybe that's not the best way.
No, because you're already ahead of the curve. Like I haven't even started my profile.
Well, what about I don't know if this would work. Whoever makes $20 or more first.
Yeah, but then you're just gonna put $20 an hour. Then
no, I wouldn't. Let's we can make a deal to say $5 an hour.
Okay, so we're both gonna charge $5 an hour,
and you have to make $20 or more.
So that potentially
means. Write it down.
Potentially, that means
4 hours.
4 hours of work, or like work, air quotes.
Yep, and that's not a short amount of time. I mean that's okay. So the bet is you have to rent yourself out for $5 or less an hour, $5 per hour, and first to $20. Yeah, right. Okay, so first $20, and we're saying the time limit is the year.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll make it the year, and that way it's comfortable.
It's just because I don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, me either.
And you got to keep in mind like I have to do it right. I have from now to the end of February essentially to complete it, because then I'm starting to coach at Westview.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm gonna get up at 5 a.m, and I'm not gonna go to bed until 10:30 at night.
You know what? You can try to find ways to make me feel bad, but I'm not going to. When I get this done on January 10th, I mean,
I gotta finish that profile tomorrow. So.
But no, I'm actually kind of excited about it, because I think it's a kind of a cool venture, because what's gonna happen? I hope that I'm lucky enough to. Oh, and okay, here's the other thing: we need to have at least similar or comparative profiles. You know what I mean?
No, we can't do that.
No. Okay, what I'm saying is that you can't just say you're good for anybody to be your friend for 4 hours.
Well, you can try and do that, and you're not gonna get anybody.
Okay.
I guarantee you. You can throw it to everybody. You can say the entire world. I'm gonna be friends with the entire. Nobody's gonna get you. You gotta have a niche or niche.
Okay, well, okay, so we're saying that is personal preference.
All I'm saying that's sales 101. When you try to sell to everybody, you get nothing.
Well, now that's not necessarily what I was saying. Is that we need to load up with everything and say, this is what I'm good. I'm saying that there's certain things that you and I would go do that we agree upon.
For example,
movies, sports events, or something like that we're not paying for.
Right.
There's the option to waive the fee if the person's paying for certain things. Now, do we do that or not? You know what I mean? Those are the type of things that we need to go through, and then we need to come back on the podcast and say these are the rules that we've laid out.
But that's more of a personal thing. Like if you decide to waive something, I'm not waiving anything. I'm getting my bucks.
But for something like that, I would say okay, let's just say this guy took me to a local hockey game, and it cost him $20 to take me there. You know what I mean? That's $20. I made $20, right?
No. But the $20 is just out of the rent.
Okay, so
fee.
You're just saying we have to charge.
Yeah, it's out of your hourly fee. It's not.
So we are not waiving.
It doesn't
the fee
count
for events.
No, it doesn't count towards what they spent on you.
Okay, so this is going to be difficult.
Because then at that point, then you have to increase that amount to $500 or $1,000.
Dude, I'm going to have to do this like a fucking internet predator. I'm going to have to go get the best picture of me. I'm going to have to, build myself up a little bit, with mostly truth.
With mostly truth.
Dude, because I'm fugly. I mean, I'm going to have to go out there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if they're guys and, and that's the other thing. Have you opened yourself up to both guys and girls?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to have to up my game and bite the bullet and have to hang out with some nerdy chick and, oh, God. I hope I don't go to some fucking Star Trek convention.
That's funny because I would go to a Star Trek convention. I wouldn't go to a Star Wars one.
Maybe I wouldn't go to a Star Wars one either.
but no. So the $20 has to be as part of your renter's fee.
Okay, right? So this has to be part of this. Okay.
What people spend on you and them for the activity they want to do, that's on them. Because it's like you said, if somebody takes you to a movie, shit, on just 2 tickets, that's over $20. I win.
Yep. Okay, so here's the other thing we have to talk about. First of all, we're playing this like salesmen, right? You're going to do your method, and I'm going to do mine.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter who we hang out with.
Nope.
It doesn't matter what they do with us, as long as we meet the $20 an hour or the $20 before the other person.
Correct.
Okay, so we're doing this Glengarry Glen Ross style. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is the parlay. Now, in the unlikely event that you and I have the same day for our rent-a-date, in the unlikely event that this happens, what is the parlay? Who wins? Like, this has to happen. Would you say that the person spends more on you?
Yeah, but how are you going to keep track of that, though?
Without being rude? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I have no idea. That's tough. Now, like I said, it's a very unlikely event.
It is, but you got to consider it too.
But if it happens, I would say that the day doesn't matter. Like, you know, if it happens on the same day, you're both at a tie, no matter what time of day you did it.
Correct.
I'm not gonna go with the like, what time did you go? That's bullshit. I will, but the parlay has to be something that happens. That has to happen one way or the other, in order for the one person to win.
How about what do you think would be the most difficult person to make a friend?
Oh, no. I got a better way. If that happens, we've already had a hard time, right? Like trying to get this person to hang out with us for money. I would say if that happens, if both you and I get a date on the same day, that we have to get a follow-up date with the same person.
Okay.
And whoever... No, but... see, but that doesn't work either, does it? Because what if we both get one?
Yeah. So let's just make it this. What do you think would be the hardest friend to make, male or female?
Female.
Okay, so if it's in the unlikely event, if it's female, then
the other person's fucked. Then you win.
Yes. If both of them happen to be female, then we'll go to the other category, which would be age group.
Okay, so age group, I would say, since I'm going with, that's the other thing. Have we discussed the age?
No, it doesn't
bracket?
Matter. No, you can do whatever you want.
Okay,
all I'm saying is like then we'll go by age group. It's kind of like golf, like golf. Like if you're tied, like you go to the hardest hole. If you're tied, you go to the second hardest hole. And then
okay, so it'll go from female to the next one. If they're both female, to the next most difficult would be
age specific, right?
Age specific. So would you say younger or older is more difficult?
I think younger is more difficult for me.
Okay,
I can't fucking connect with millennials, dude.
So younger, and then let's just say they're the same age. Now the final, hair color.
Hair color.
No, we can do that if you want to.
No, hair color is, and I think because we're in the U.S., it's more rare to get darker. So we'll say the closest to black. Closest to black. Oh, we could do skin color, actually. Oh, yeah, skin color.
So what would you say is the most difficult skin color to get for you and I? So black. And black. So
black or Asian, because Asians don't fucking do this shit.
Okay, so here we'll say black or Asian, right? And I doubt that all three of these are going to happen. So this is where I'm going to leave it.
All right.
Okay, so here's the parlay. In the unlikely event that both you and I on the same day get a rent-a-friend for $5 an hour or more, whatever, to reach... No, it has to be $5 an hour, right?
Yeah, that's the cap.
It must be
charge
at $5 an hour for 4 hours, because it can't stretch over 2 days. If it does, then you lose. So you can't hang out with one person for 2 hours that one day and then go the next day because you've already lost. That other person made the $20 faster than you. So in the unlikely event that this happens, that both you and I get the same thing on the same day, the parlay is whoever has the female rent-a-friend In the unlikely event that happens, she's the younger of the two. In the unlikely event that they're both the same age, within the year, whoever's black or Asian. or the closest to those.
The closest to those.
By geographical location.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, there you go. There is our rent-a-friend bet.
So here's another thing that just came to mind. So we have a cap of $5 an hour. What if we watch a movie at the last 2 hours? I mean, technically, I'm charging 10. Right?
Yes, you roll over. No, it's you charge. I'm pretty sure that you can charge just the way like a contractor charges. You know, where the new hour starts, you're charged for the entire next hour.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So if I get somebody to hang out with me for 4 hours, then I'm done. I won.
Yes. You say, I'm sorry, it's time for me to leave. No, you can stay, but only that $20 counts.
All right, this will be easy. I can finish it in one date then.
Yeah. There you go.
You're going down, Lonnie.
You know, whatever.
So
short stack.
So the profile thing has to be finished by tomorrow. Has to be done by tomorrow.
Oh, okay. How about Monday?
I'm finishing tomorrow.
Well, I don't think that matters. Like, you know, because no matter what happens, you know, like the first person to do it wins the bet.
No,
we still have not discussed the win rewards.
No, we haven't.
I'm scared.
So
you have to do it again for free if you lose.
No, if you lose, you're gonna send me your $20.
Okay.
And no, but we gotta make it something like worthwhile though. Like what else can we add? How can I torture you? Because I know I'm gonna win.
One of us has to put a video up on the website of ourselves lip syncing to the song of the other person or the winner's choice.
Oh my god.
In a dramatic fashion.
In a dramatic fashion.
You cannot just stand there and be a singing head. So it has to be good.
That sounds like too much work.
That's the way it goes when you lose.
How about...
Come on.
No, I mean it's out there. I like the idea. Let me.
Give me something.
I can't think of anything that I would like you to do that would amuse me.
Oh, I can think of a few things, but they're not proper to put up on our website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta watch out. Like you can't just like have a video and like ass touching people.
Yeah, it might be funny to you, but you know, I don't know.
I don't know either. Fuck. I kind of wish we had like live listeners right now.
Well, I kind of wish my wife had come down and she could be the moderator for this. Maybe I should call her.
Maybe
I could text her. Well, okay. So what else are we talking about? I'll try to get her down.
What would be good? What would be a good punishment for me?
That's maybe we shouldn't do this.
No, so just while I'm thinking about a punishment, just a quick announcement. I will have the Patreon account done this week as well, Lonnie.
Okay.
So if you ever want to donate to this podcast, you can do so through our Patreon account. Trying to get better equipment and what else are we trying to get?
Trying to do this with at least more time. You know,
yeah.
like, and because time is money, and with more money, we'd be able to do things like having better content on the website, have a better, you know.
No. I remember what it was. I'm trying to get. So I'm gonna hire a promoter.
Yes.
In LA, and he's not cheap. So, but hopefully that'll help us get our numbers up. Get some actual sponsors. So I mean, for now, enjoy the podcast without any like
Well, yeah, and then
commercials,
also
except-
getting better guests, and not better guests, but like what's
no,
the
like
word?
more guests, more recognition.
Yeah, like
more interesting topics. Like,
which, by the way, I'm going to be holding Tim Ferriss. If you're out there, I'm holding you to what your secretary sent me for a waiting list for you to be a guest.
I still yet to read his book and stuff, dude.
Which one?
Just the latest one. I don't know shit about this person, so.
Well, you should look at the latest two. I mean, the latest two are pretty good. There was the Tools of the Titans and Tribe of Mentors were his latest two. And I can get you a copy of them.
Yeah, do so, because I got sidetracked.
For.
I got sidetracked. Like I started Atlas Shrugged, and then I got bored.
How fucking good is that book, though?
It's pretty fucking good. But then I got sidetracked, and I started Starship Troopers again.
Oh, it's a good book, dude.
and then I stopped Starship Troopers, and I started fucking whatchamacallit.
I don't know whatchamacallit. Who's the author?
No, I'm trying to look for
that was
it.
a total dad joke. You're saying.
I have it. I had it here.
Oh, which, by the way, can you give me a good suggestion for Christelle, because she's
.com. What was you
.com secrets?
Yeah, .com secrets. That one. So,
am I supposed to be reading this too?
I don't know, but it's supposed to be like a marketing for dummies type book. So
I like for dummies books.
And that's kind of like one of the things that I'm trying to do, and that's hence why I'm actually gonna invest in a promoter, a well-established promoter. So, like, please don't blame us for trying to make this work. As much as I love our unique audience, I feel we should take it to the next step, and we should.
Well, I just want to have the opportunity to reach more people that have the same interests as the people that listen to this podcast. Because our audience is limited. I understand that. They can't tell, everybody in the world.
Yeah.
And that's basically our advertising.
And like I said, I'm never going to be in politics, so I don't give a shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it would be kind of fun just to have a broader audience that has the same type of interests, And we do have a very as much as this podcast is basically about everything and nothing, we do have a very specific audience that we reach.
Right.
And it's and the interesting thing about our audience is they're not all the same. There's a lot of differences in the people that listen to our podcast. There's people from all different types of walks of life, but that's the kind of stuff that we like to do. We like to stretch out to people that, just like hearing about dumb shit and hearing stupid theories about Game of Thrones, and don't actually go in depth to every portion of the episode, but we move on to a new topic that has nothing to do with Game of Thrones.
Which, by the way, I was telling somebody about last episode. I told him to check out the Esteban story.
Yeah.
I guess there's not that there's not. There's. I guess there's more people like that than that I think to see.
Yeah.
that I think to believe, but I just thought it was, like I said, I just thought it was funny that the first thing that I click on the, on the tab, the first thing that came out was Colombians taking a shit. So it's just saying like, oh, I know a couple of people like that, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
Why do you know these people? But maybe the punishment, Lonnie, should be with something that we don't like to do.
I don't like to hang out with other people's kids.
Maybe you should go to a daycare center and like volunteer for a day.
You sure it can't just be like watching the preemies at the hospital?
I
can do that.
I can't do that, dude.
Yeah, and then there's
too much emotional stress on that one.
Yeah. And then the other one, gosh, what was I gonna say? I had something. Yeah, I'll text it to you as soon as I remember. Did you see that Hillary Clinton's house lit up on fire?
No.
Yeah. And it just so happened to happen on the same day as Seth Rich's birthday. The guy that ended up getting, quote unquote, robbed and shot, but none of his shit was taken.
Wait,
and he was the one going to bust out all the secrets of the Hillary campaign.
Did it get lit on fire, or did somebody lit on fire?
I don't know. Maybe they having a seance or something like that, and the Illuminati blew up her house. I have no idea. But yeah, her house lit up on fire.
So is she going to prison or no?
I did see the article, and I did read the article. I forget if it was like the Daily Beast or something like that. Maybe it was the New York Times, actually. They wrote that the FBI is reopening the email case, which is bad news for her. Because that's a pretty big deal, right? Because everything since Trump came in office, like everything that they've reopened or looked into again, that the Obama administration already, quote unquote, looked into, everything that they've actually gone back to, they've found a bunch of discrepancies, or they found someone breaking the law. I mean, there's already been people that have been sent to jail. I mean, it's real. If people think that Hillary won't go to jail, I don't think you know who Jeff Sessions is and how harsh he is on criminals. And he's our attorney general.
I mean, it might end up being like another Martha Stewart thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Martha Stewart. She didn't actually break the law.
Yeah, but she didn't really go to prison. It was more like a vacation for her. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, she didn't break the law. Technically.
But she did go to prison.
She did. For some bullshit. They call it insider trading. It's like, dude, somebody told her something, and she, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, somebody tells me, dude, buy stock on Apple right now because it's gonna bloom. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm on it. Especially if I trust a person, but.
And that's pretty much what she got in trouble for.
I don't know. There's stuff about Hillary. There's stuff about Trump going with this whole Russia thing, right? As well.
That was all. They've already discussed that, didn't you see? Stop watching the news.
No, I all I know is there's now they're making it about whether he's mentally fit.
Yeah.
I'm just oh god, I always, you know what I notice about CNN? Because that's all they play at work is CNN News. And on the other TV, there's sports, but the CNN News is the one that has volume. So,
of course.
Anyways, but I don't know if you ever noticed that fucking bitch, and she happens to be a Baldwin. So you know they're already an asshole.
Yeah.
But she always has this, it's not just the one that's doing this, but everybody that's on CNN, they have this fucking snarky look like this. Yeah. And I know you listeners can't see me, but it's that look yeah, very interesting. Huh,
I know shit that you don't.
I'm smarter than you right now, and I know that my shit don't stink. Oh my god, it just fucking pisses me off. It rubs me the wrong way. It's just
Oh, I get it. It. Dude, we tried to watch.
I don't even have words to express it.
There's a few guys at work, basically all the guys I work with right now, except for a couple. There's most of them, they eat lunch at the same time as I do. And we sit in the break room and we just wondered, it's okay, most of them are conservative, right? And none of these guys watch the news. I don't watch the news, they don't watch the news. And it's pretty much all for the same reason. Because it's all bullshit. Even Fox News, I don't trust any of it. But we decided, we're dude, let's watch some Rachel Maddow. Just for a little while. Because I just want to see, right? So we turn on Rachel Maddow. And I swear to God, that is the most infuriating shit ever. Because it's the whole time she's talking, these are the main words she's saying throughout the entire speech she's giving. What if this looks like maybe? It's okay, where are your sources? Who did you talk to? Who said what? What is actually happening? None of that shit happened. None of that shit happened. She never gave a real source, or she never gave credible evidence or anything. It was all of this soap opera speculation bullshit. It was infuriating. And I don't know how you, as a Democrat, like you could watch her and go, yeah, like that looks like this and this looks like that. And like, you could just go along with it. It's like, aren't you going to like ask the question, like, who told you this? Like, who is your source? Who are these unnamed sources that keep popping up in all these left-wing articles? I don't understand it. But yeah, we watched that for about 10 minutes and had to turn it off. It's like, dude, this is bullshit. But it's just baffling to me that, like, you can get away with that in journalism now. You can just speculate on anything you want, and people take it as fucking gospel.
I mean, why would they lie? They're on TV, right?
Exactly. Which is the same reason I can't stand it when celebrities stand up for a cause. I don't even care what cause it is. I don't care if you're trying to save babies in Africa. I'm tired of seeing your face trying to tell me how I'm supposed to live my life. I'm sorry. That was a tiny little rant. It's just it makes me sick that they try to do this subliminal message bullshit already with commercials and stuff. And then you got a celebrity talking to you, telling you why you're wrong because you're not supporting this cause. It's like, how the fuck would you know? You haven't had to eat, like, make your own food or do your own laundry for, like, the last 30 years.
Well,
Anyway.
some of them do.
Yeah, maybe, like, what's his name? Not Hugh Jackman. Yeah, Hugh Jackman. I think he does his own laundry.
He just seems like the kind of guy that just likes to get shit done,
Yeah. Well, it seems like all of the actors and actresses that I actually like a lot seem to be the ones that are married for a long time. Or with the same person for a long time. You know what I mean? Because that's, a lot of these, well, most of these celebrities, they do these relationships because it gets publicity. And it usually happens after a movie that they do together, right?
Right.
Like Brad Pitt he married Angelina Jolie after this, and after Mr. and Mrs. Smith or whatever. And then it was this big thing, when they broke up. And it's like, who the fuck cares? Seriously. But I guess people care. I mean, there's tons of people that give a shit, and I don't know. Can you imagine if that was your hobby? Like, just giving a shit on what celebrities do?
I mean,
I guess we kind of do. Like, I kind of do in a certain way because I enjoy Star Wars, and I want to know about the characters, not necessarily the actors and actresses, but like the characters and the lore and all that stuff. But I mean, when there's a real life person that really has no similarities with your reality, and they're actually walking around and you want to be them, but you actually know nothing about them.
Yeah. Well, you kind of want to be their characters, not necessarily them, right?
I guess. I don't want to be Jim Carrey right now.
But that's the thing. Like, most people, when they see celebrities, they think that celebrity is like the character they see in the movie, and
like Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I want to be Liam Neeson from Taken. I just don't want my family taken from me. I want to save somebody else's family. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It just seems like a really dumb hobby. A useless hobby, I should say. To sit there and listen about other people's lives. When it's actually not even the truth. I don't... Kardashians 101.
Yeah. I can't think of a punishment, Lonnie.
Oh, you're still on that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still on it. I can't think of anything right now.
Well, since we did at least most of our New Year's wager, are we going to do our New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, we can. I mean,
now I'm actually, when I do, I think I've only ever done one New Year's resolution, and I actually kept it.
I did one, and this last year I broke it.
Yeah.
After
smoking.
After 5 years of not smoking, I smoked again, and I'm still smoking. I don't know if I want to give it up just yet, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, how much are you smoking?
I don't know, like maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes a day. Like I
Really?
I usually smoke like after work, like before I take a shower and go to bed. Like I'll smoke one, or maybe 2 if the night was like if the day was too tough. But that's it. I mean, it's definitely not like it was like in the military where I was smoking like half a pack a day or something.
But who could blame us? Really?
I mean, you can only blame yourself, right?
Yeah.
I guess there's probably better ways to channel stress, but
that's
like
fast.
Yeah, but it's like I told my brother, like, I remember being being deployed and being in the gym for 4 hours, and then after that, it's like, what the fuck do I do? Like, I'm fucking tired now.
And there's literally nothing to do.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, you can only play so many video games, watch so much TV or movies.
You can only go through the whole series of Entourage once.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So, and like I said, one of the best times of my life in the military was on the smoke pit with everybody else that smoked. Like those people were actually cool as fuck. For some reason, people that didn't smoke were kind of like, uptight shows and
shitty people.
Yeah, just crappy people that just wanted to be like, oh, you have your hands in your pockets. It's your uniform. It's like, it's fucking PT gear, motherfucker. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, it's a uniform. You can't have your hands in your pockets. I'm like, oh, fuck.
They're just jealous.
Dude, did I ever tell you I flew with the wing commander when I was in Manas when we were deployed?
Maybe.
So it's fucking negative freezing balls in Manas, and the wing commander decides
What's that
to
in
fly
Fahrenheit?
Negative freezing balls is negative freezing balls.
Was that like -5?
Yeah, something like that. So anyways, so I'm wearing my my flight jacket, the winter flight jacket, which is pretty thick. And then I have my winter gloves, which are pretty thick, and I'm still cold. And I don't know if you remember this, but that winter jacket, the one that had the hoodie.
Oh yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
The good one.
That one has pockets on the side.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm in the flight line where there's supposedly, you don't wear a hat because there's fucking engines in there. You don't want
your shit sucked through.
Yeah, so the flight line, there's a lot of freedom there. There's no saluting there. There's nothing. I got a beanie because I'm fucking cold. I got that thing, like the hoodie on top, and or actually no. You know what? It wasn't that one because you couldn't fly with that jacket. It was the flight jacket, the regular one. It was still pretty thick, and I got a beanie. I'm freezing. I have my gloves. And then the wing commander is doing like the little briefing before we actually go up the jet.
Yeah.
And do our pre-flight. And he's like, I'm like, shaking my hands and I'm blowing hot air on my hands. I'm going like, man, it's cold. It's cold out here. And as soon as I say it's cold out here, he goes like, yeah, it's pretty cold. It's a shame you can't put your hands in your pocket because you're in uniform. And as soon as he said that, like, dude, I was about to like shove my hands on my pocket, and I just do this maneuver where like I lift my I like kind of like shrug, and I pull my hands up, and I go, "Yep, pretty freaking cold." But I'm thinking, you motherfucker, you fucking piece of shit.
That's a Captain Sobel right there,
dude. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, dude, it's the flight line. It's cold. And you're going to tell him where it doesn't matter. I don't have to salute. And you're telling me I can't put my fucking hands in my jacket? Then don't fucking put pockets in them.
It would have been even better, like, if he asked you to, like, how come you don't salute or something like that on the flight line? It's like,
dude,
because I've heard stories, like, of, like, airmen where a boom operator will be out on the flight line and another officer will walk by and the airman won't give him a salute because it's the flight line, right? You you don't do that shit. It's technically open area. I'm not saying there are snipers, but there might be snipers. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you hear people telling the stories, like, the best ones are when someone says, yeah, he asked me why I didn't salute him, and it's like, well, because I don't want you dead, sir. you know, like, there's Hajis out there, and they will clip you. But, yeah, some of those guys got pretty ridiculous. I've had some really good luck with a lot of officers, you know, and ones that I've flown with and higher ranking officers, but I've had a few that are, you know, like, I always forget his name. He's not a bad guy. He's just uncomfortable to be around. Major fuck it all, like Major fuck everything.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know if I could.
He's probably a general by now. I don't know.
Should I say his name?
I don't know. Like, what did it start with?
It starts with a P.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, I was with my fucking family and we were out fucking camp, and it's like, what the hell?
You know how he kind of looked like a skinny, tall version of what's that? What's his name? Family Guy creator
Seth MacFarlane.
MacFarlane, yeah. He kind of looks like him
a little bit. Yeah, but that guy, not a bad guy. You know,
no, he's not a bad
pretty
guy,
decent pilot and everything. It's just like, dude, you make me so uncomfortable the way you cuss. Like, I cuss, but holy shit, dude.
Dude, that was fucking Wing Commander, dude. What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you get those guys every now and then. You did see that Trump, you know, like, this was a while back now, a few weeks ago, but Trump acknowledged Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
Yes, I did see that.
Now, explain to me why this is a problem.
I
want to hear your view.
I think, I mean, you want me to defend the...
Yeah, play devil's advocate.
I think it's because it ruined any potential chance of making peace with, like, Pakistan, Iran. Who else is down south that supports?
You mean basically any Islamic country?
Yeah, pretty much. I think, like, with the Obama administration, there wasn't any, like, defined line in that circle of states. Because, it's all about Jerusalem, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole fucking conflict there. It's about just the Holy Land. But by Trump defining that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, then now there's a well-established line. You know, now it's black and white. There's no gray area. And I think that's why, you know, people see it as a problem. I don't see it as a problem. I see it as the correct move. You know, it's Jerusalem has been part of Israel for
forever.
And then all of a sudden, like, you know, what are the neighboring countries? Like, it's you have Iran, you have Pakistan, and then you have.
What you mean? You know, like, you have the Palestinians.
Yeah, it's like,
are technically not even, like, I don't want to piss
geography is off, dude.
I don't want to piss anybody off, but Palestinians are not actually a Palestinian is not a real race. People understand that, right? Palestine, like, the Palestinians are actually Egyptians. If you go back in history and look at it, Palestinians actually came from Egypt, the original ones. And they were sent there, you know, like, where they were kind of pushed out of their own country, and they, you know, just kind of occupied in the area where they could, you know, kind of make families and everything. And the Israelites never really had a problem with this after their, you know, like, the state of Israel was reestablished. You know, like, there's never really been that much of a problem. And I swear, you look back at some of this. Do you know how many times in the Quran that Jerusalem is mentioned? Do you have any idea?
No.
0.
I'm, like, way off, dude. Pakistan is Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It's on the border.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I wasn't gonna block you. I was just gonna let you talk.
Sorry.
We know what you mean.
I was. Yeah. I was. So it's Iraq, Syria, and then you have Cairo, So you have Egypt on the side, and then you have Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
On the border.
Yeah, it's an
So who
interesting
was I
thing to
thinking?
happen
What
for
did
such
I-
a small area, right?
What the fuck did I think Pakistan then?
I don't know. We did just shut off funding for Pakistan. You saw that. But it was because they were taking the money that we give them and giving it right over to terrorist groups.
Oh, I was thinking of the conflict in Afghanistan. Iran, Pakistan, it's like right on the border of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking something else. I'm thinking ISIS, dude. I'm like way off. I'm like way off.
That was another interesting stat, is that since Trump has been president, ISIS's forces have dropped by 90%.
And he's just bombing the shit out of him.
Pretty much. Like, you don't see that kind of stuff on the news because, most of the world agrees that ISIS is bad, right?
Yeah, I mean...
And I mean, even a lot of Islamic countries, like most of their people think that ISIS is bad, so, but they don't show that stuff on the news, that we're just beating the shit out of ISIS. It's been interesting for the last year, to say the least, all the stuff that's been happening. And I think the Dow just hit 25,000. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I loved when, I have some people tell me that they're losing money in the stock market. I'm like, what are your stocks in? Because they must be in some really shitty companies, because it's awesome right now. But, yeah. So, Trump declares that. It's like all he did was say, I'm declaring this is they're the capital of Israel, like it has been for, however many thousands of years, so it's like, what is everybody pissed about? And I think what everybody's pissed about is that, he's not up for the whole 2-state solution.
Right.
I know Ben Shapiro was all excited about it. But he's Jewish.
Yeah.
So.
But I totally came off the fucking ignorant here, because I don't.
I forgive you, Jimmy.
I was thinking of something else.
Now,
anyways, well, there you go. I'm a fucking moron, and you should always question what I say.
So what is your New Year's resolution? I don't think we didn't even get to it.
No, we didn't. You fucking went through.
I know. I'm a piece of shit.
Trying to make me look like a fool here.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to.
Whenever you're ready.
I want to lose. Well, I don't want to lose. I want to donate some weight.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
So I'm at 180, 182 right now, I think.
That's kind of big for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was pushing 190, and I was like, that's where I drew the line. and I went down to 176, and then I got back to 182. So I want to get back to my ideal weight, which is 165-ish, I believe.
Ooh, your fighting weight.
Yeah. So that's where I was when I was like really fit, and I actually had like some muscles.
A little bit of energy.
Yeah.
Well, my New Year's resolution is the same as yours.
I would last, 5 minutes versus just 1 minute in bed. So.
Wow. Yeah, I only lasted for 3 hours, so it's been pretty hard lately.
Quite literally.
No, that's the same as mine. I'm going on I'm doing it with Christelle, but we're doing keto. Just because I really like keto, and we're going to be doing the intermittent fasting and stuff like that, and because I like fasting. I think fasting is awesome. I know it sounds horrible because it's like you don't eat, but dude, it is so good for you.
No, I've been on intermittent fasting before, but the thing that worked the best for me is I think I told you, right? It's just food combining.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I'll eat whatever I want until I'm full. It's either meat and vegetables or carbs and vegetables, but never meat with carbs.
Yeah. Hey, it works.
Yeah,
And it's one of the things I always tell people. It's like, one of the fastest ways to lose weight comfortably, without doing a whole lot is just cutting things out.
right. So, and then I'm finally at a point where my back is not being an issue. Like I still have my right knee has been bothering me, so I got to go see my chiropractor pretty soon. But I want to go back to the gym.
Work out the muscles around the problem area.
And actually do something. I put up my speed bag again, so I'm doing some boxing.
Sweet.
And so
gonna get Conor McGregor as your trainer.
No, not the way he boxes.
Handle it.
It's like not the way he boxes now.
I would die.
No, there's actually a boxing. There's a gym around where I live in Encinitas. I might do the Groupon and go for 30 days. I think it's 10 sessions.
See how it is.
Yeah, and just to get back into the whole cardio thing. But like I said, it's end of February. I'm starting Westview again. And I know I'm not going to be doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me has always been,
it's like
what I'm eating.
Yeah, so I gotta work more on the diet portion rather than the,
And it cannot be
physical
understated.
Exercise.
I mean, the stuff that you eat affects you so much.
Yes.
And you can totally tell, like, when you're doing any type of diet, like any type of healthy diet, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're eating healthier at all, you will see a change in your body chemistry, like, how you feel, the energy that you have. It's just one of those things that's proven to work. It's like you just start eating better. That's one of the one things that they tell people that have like pre-diabetes and stuff. It's like, dude, just start eating better.
Yep.
Or drink more water. Wash your hands, when you're sick. I mean, those basic things that your grandma used to tell you, right? It's like, well, it works.
So. And the other one is
we have two.
Yeah, like I said, I want to stop smoking. I've already done it. And like I said, it lasted 5, almost 6 years. So
Quitter.
No, actually, it was 6 years because I stopped when Anna was pregnant, and after the baby was born, I was like, just definite and. He's going to be 7 this year, so.
Yeah. That's crazy, huh?
Dude, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, my daughter just turned 9. And today, my oldest son will be 6. Or, I'm sorry, tomorrow, Sunday.
Yeah. It's crazy, though, because, like, I saw, like, the one memory that I have about your daughter is, like, she's still a toddler.
Yeah. Out in Rosemont.
Yeah, and I had her, like, I put her to sleep, and it's just like all of a sudden it's like a 9-year-old. I'm like, fuck, dude, what happened?
She is chippy too. Oh my god, she has got an attitude. But I got really lucky with all my kids. Like, each of them have their own traits that bug the shit out of me. But man, it's the coolest thing as a parent, like. Especially when you have several kids, is seeing the differences in all of them, and then at the same time all the similarities,
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just so much fun being a dad. I love it. I can't understand how some people just leave their kids. I just don't get it.
This should be the bet, Lonnie. If you lose, you have to abandon your kids.
Agreed. Let's do this. It's kind of harsh.
That's pretty bad.
So are we doing the celebrity style or black dad style? No, but I think it's hilarious with kids. They're crazy, man.
Yeah, they are, dude. Like I said, it's it's just one of those things. Like, I remember when I was young and naive, and You remember Joe?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
So
I just farted on the podcast.
Oh my God.
You're welcome, America.
I remember Joe. I think I asked him something about like becoming a father or something like that because I think I had that one of those. It was one of those days where I'm like, I think she might be pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe it was something like that, or I don't know. We were just having like an existential conversation, and he told me something that stuck with me. He said, you never picture a life with kids, but once you have him, you can't picture a life without him. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's really weird. Like when I was, like young, single, like I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna have kids. And it's like, and Joe had a lot of kids.
He had
6.
He had a few.
And then, but he's like, but after I had kids, like I couldn't imagine a life without him. And that's kind of how it was for me. Like,
oh yeah,
I didn't see myself with kids, and then all of a sudden, like, I had my first one, and I'm like, oh shit, like. And when they always ask you the hypothetical question, would you go back and change stuff or whatever?
Hell no.
I'm like, yeah, not if it doesn't involve the same kids that I have right now.
That is one of those things that I tell Christelle about. Like one of the things that worries me about time travel. It's like, even if I were to go back to a certain point in time and, consummate my love with Christelle at the same exact time, on the same day, even then, it's not guaranteed that I have the same kid.
Right.
That's scary. It's like, I know that I would love that other kid. It's just not my kid, like the original one. You know what I mean? It's like, it scares the shit out of me. Like that whole thing, time travel, just, this. It's like the greatest horror story for Lonnie is time travel. It's so bad. But yeah, there's no way. I can't think of any other life without kids. That's why, it's like I've said before, I just don't get people that leave their kids or kill their kids or, do anything like that. It's just.
I mean, I get it. It's kind of like Dewey Cox. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Remember with that scene where he's like, you know what? Like, I just don't believe it. I just believe if somebody doesn't want to take care of the kids, then they shouldn't be held responsible for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting thing when you have kids. And nobody really understands until they have them.
Right. And that's the thing, like, but I think Bill Burr said something on one of his most recent podcasts about the same thing.
Yeah.
And he was saying like how a lot of people told him like, oh, you don't get it, like you don't get it, and he's like, I was like, yeah, but so did you didn't get it like until after you have kids, but now that I have kids, I'm not gonna tell somebody that doesn't have kids that they don't get it.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily that I don't think they get it. It's like, I think you can get the concept of having kids. I think you can understand all the responsibilities that you have, when you have kids and stuff. But I don't think you ever truly understand what having kids is until you have kids.
Right.
It's like you can understand the concept of not having the time anymore to do anything. You can understand the concept of having less money or someone else to feed or having new responsibility or having to take care of someone else, but until you have kids, you have no idea what it's actually like. It's just weird. Like you say, I never imagined myself with kids when I was younger. And then the older I got, I would imagine it, but it was never anything similar to what I have now.
Right, but isn't that like what Joe said though? Like right now, you just can't imagine your life without them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no way. I have.
It's.
You know what scares the shit out of me?
It's weird, dude. It's like it has to be something like fucking biological. Just something like just fucks up with your mind, and you're just like, oh my god, I gotta protect these kids. Like
yes, and on that same token, have you ever had this thought like, let's say something happens and like I'm not saying something like apocalyptic happens, but like some emergency happens and you have to keep your family safe. And let's say you're not able to be in your home. Like you have to move, like, or not move, but like travel somewhere to stay safe, but you have to do it like, in secret, like you have to get away, you have to protect your family. So I guess it would be like an apocalyptic event or something like that, or some massive tragedy. And you're protecting your family. What if you have to keep your kids quiet at some point in that adventure? Like, what if you have to make sure that the only way that they stay safe is if no one sees you or hears you? That scares the shit out of me, because I know my kids. Like, they have no concept of what's happening. Yeah. If I tell them to shut up because, zombies are going to get them, that's not going to work. That kind of stuff keeps me up. It's like, what if something happens? Can I keep these kids quiet? Can I keep them safe? And
yeah, it's funny, but I've had those thoughts before, so I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones.
Oh yeah,
that put themselves in that scenario. Like, what if this would happen?
Yeah, even as ridiculous as it sounds, but
it's fucked up though, and it's like it doesn't sound like my wife. It's like that skit from or that bit from Dave Chappelle when he's like looking at the sun. He's just like, man, this is fucking incredible. It's like, you just don't get it, son. It's like, you came out of my balls, man.
Yeah, well,
you're a fucking tiny cell, a microscopic cell that got fusion with another cell. Like, you were half a cell.
Yeah,
you were only half. You're half of me, half of half of your mom.
Isn't that crazy?
It's like, fuck, dude.
It shouldn't make sense, but it makes sense. Yeah. The one thing that blows my mind is, I think watching your kids grow doesn't necessarily, like, it doesn't occur to you like it does to other people that aren't living with you and stuff, like how much your kids grow, but you see it anyway. Like it just happens. But the thing that gets to me is one day I'll see my kids and I won't notice a change or something like that they've gotten taller or their voice has changed a little bit, right? And then I'll see them the next day when they wake up or when I come home or something like that, and I notice it. Like, I'd notice that they started looking like this, or they started getting a little taller, but it looks like it's happened like overnight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that shit is mind-blowing to me. It's like, I live with you. I see you every day. Like, how did I not notice this for the last few weeks, that you were getting taller, or your hair was getting longer, or your eyes were, starting to open up a little bit more, and your facial features are starting to, straighten out, or whatever. That's weird. And I get it. Like, like when your grandma used to see you and go, oh my gosh, you're getting so big. It's like, I am. But that's what it feels like. It's just weird as a parent because you're with them all the time. So you don't always notice the changes that are happening with your kids until that one day. And then you see your kid and you're like, holy shit, when did you learn to start doing that? And when did you, today was a good example because one thing that works to get my boys to clean their room is I'll tell them, like how much time they have to clean their room, and then I'll count. And then they're all happy, they got to do something really fast, before daddy finishes 2 minutes or whatever. So I'll count slow, go 1, 2, and I'll do this for, a full 2 minutes. And I'm holding my youngest son's hand, and he's only 3, right? And he's sitting there, and he's just kind of looking at the older boys cleaning their room. And I noticed today, as I'm counting, I was at 39, and he says 39. And I'm like, I look over at him, and he says at the same time as me, and I'm like, 40, and he says 40, and then he keeps on counting at the exact same time as me, so I know he knows the numbers. Like, when the fuck did you learn your numbers all the way to this? But kids are awesome.
That's crazy, dude. But I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't look at him sometimes and just go, "You little fucking shit! I want to kill you right now."
Yeah,
Not literal. I mean, it's not like a literal. I want to kill you, but fuck me, dude.
Yeah, it's just it is hard. That's for sure. Restraint is big when you're a dad. Like being, what can I say to him? What can't I say to him? Do I spank him in this situation? Do I not? Yeah. Well, where are we at?
Shit, I think we went beyond. But I still gotta I want to talk about something else. I need a pee break though, so it's gonna be a little bit longer than usual. But
go ahead.
I mean, unless you have to go.
Well, I gotta go here pretty soon. Just to hang out with the wife.
Well, let me take a piss real quick, and I'll be right back.
Go ahead. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Sorry about that.
How was your pee?
It was good.
Good.
Had a lot of
blood in
Dr.
your urine?
Pepper.
Oh. Okay. So what'd you want to say to me, Zumi?
So, I was thinking about this whole punishment thing. I mean, it's not going to be a punishment. It's going to be an opportunity, I guess. But I think we should do. I mean, we're definitely going to post it on the website, right?
Yep.
And I don't know about the lip syncing thing, dude. I think that sounds a little bit too lame.
I mean, it's something that you're scared of, and that's why you don't want to do it. If
I don't want to make you do something to punish you, then it has to be something like worth my time, right? Like worth my effort.
Okay.
So.
I'm ready.
I don't know if I don't know if you're gonna like this.
Probably not.
So you have to wear.
Oh God.
You have to wear a full. I guess it'll be like a lingerie set of your wives, and do like a pole dancing type video for 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
30 seconds. I'll be nice.
Deal.
What? Is this something you do like frequently? I mean, you have dressed as a woman before, so
every Tuesday. No,
I can't.
No.
I don't think that. No, I don't think. I don't. It sounds like you're gonna enjoy this. No,
but it sounds fair.
No, you can't enjoy this.
Like, I'm not going to enjoy it.
It sounds like you're going to enjoy it. No.
Wait, you want me to tell you no? Is that what you wanted?
No.
Oh, God, no. Please don't make me do what I do every time I come home from... No. Please don't make me put the strap on my chin. Oh, God,
I guess,
no.
Okay. No, I think I know what I'm going to make you do. I'm going to make you create a poster that says "Go Seahawks."
Fuck you.
Or maybe buy a Seahawks jersey and wear it for like a month.
I will not put money towards the NFL, so I won't buy a jersey.
I'll buy it for you.
Looks like I have to win this bet then.
Yeah.
So what's yours going to be? So what's yours going to be?
I don't know. Think of something.
Well, do you have a football team that you don't like?
Not really.
Well, this sucks. We can't go with the Seahawks thing.
No, I'm just saying it can't be. I'm putting your punishment. You're gonna put my punishment. I mean, it's like it doesn't have to. We don't have to do like the same thing.
All right.
All I'm saying is you're gonna have to wear something like Seahawk something. You're gonna do something for the Heat.
I will wear my father-in-law's Seahawks jersey for a day.
For a day.
For a day.
No.
One day.
You gotta wear for a week.
To work.
You gotta pretend that you're like a Seahawks fan.
No, I'll just wear it. Don't get crazy on me. I don't want to have to cut my own tongue off.
I mean, I think that one's fair. I think you will not enjoy wearing a Seahawks jersey. So yeah, that will be mine.
So what do I got to do now? I got to force you to drink Coca-Cola 3 times a day all week?
Jesus Christ. I'll puke if I drink Coke, though.
That doesn't. I'll puke if I wear a Seahawks jersey.
So I get to drink a can of Coca-Cola? So
No, that's too easy. Let's see. Zumi, I think I'm going to stick with the lip syncing thing on you. I think you wanted to move away from that. So I'm going to stick with that.
Which song?
My choice. And you won't know until I send it to you. And what will happen is I will make a production of it. I will have you lip sync it there at home. Then I will mute it when you send the file back to me. And I will add the music as a video and put it up on the website. Taylor Swift, here we come.
Oh my god. Fucking prick.
Maybe some Nicki Minaj.
See, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if I agree to the lip syncing with you, like I think you're actually gonna enjoy that.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't at all. But I'll stick with the Seahawks thing, and you stick with something I know you don't want to do.
No, we'll do the lip syncing one, but it has to be in your underwear.
Okay.
All right.
That's terrible.
Nobody
wants to see that.
No, I know, but it's gonna be funny as fuck.
All right. So underwear lip syncing.
Underwear lip syncing
with professional production put up on the website.
All right. You gotta fucking finish that profile, dude. There's no fucking way I'm doing this shit.
Oh, yes, you will. All right. Well,
it's a gentleman's bed, by the way, right?
Not when I'm done with you. All right, buddy. Well, I think we should cut it there. And
yeah. Hey, sorry it took forever for the episode 37 and 38. They're up on YouTube. They're on iTunes. Yeah, all that.
All that shit. And thank God I have a pre-recorded outro, because I don't feel like doing it right now.
All right, guys. Happy New Year's, and we'll see you next week. And hopefully I'll have the news that Lonnie is lip syncing for us.
You won't. See you guys. Thanks for listening to the NBTLT Podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, or shoutengine.com. Write to us on our website at nbtltpodcast.com or send us an email at mail@nbtltpodcast.com. Our bumper music is provided by bensound.com, and you can find us on all social media. And hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel.